Hello, it's Mr. DeClaire here. Welcome to our presentation on course selection for grade 11 students going into grade 12.
Your request for course selections will be done through My Blueprint again, and the submission window will be from January 13 to February 18. My Blueprint is a great tool with a number of features that you should use. First of all, recognize that you can create more than one plan in My Blueprint, so you can try different combinations of courses for next year and check out how that affects your program eligibility. Program eligibility refers to what post-secondary programs you can apply to based on your high school plan. We only pick up the courses from the official plan. It's the one that has a little black flag on the top. The other factor or feature that you should use in My Blueprint is the graduation indicator. You should check your plan to make sure that the courses you select will get you to graduate in the year that you want to. There are other research features that you can use. You can find out about post-secondary programs. You can find out about occupational information in My Blueprint as well. What we're asking you to do is to do your research, choose your courses wisely, and submit one time. There will be opportunities later to request changes to your timetable, but at that point, your choices will be very limited. This is your best chance to get the courses that you want. Please note as well that your submission of courses will be time-stamped and classes will be filled based on that timestamp. Let's review what you need to graduate from high school. To get your diploma, you must complete 30 credits, and of those 30 credits, 18 are compulsory. These compulsories are courses like 1 English in each year, 3 math credits, your civics and careers, your history, your geography. The challenge that some students have is in completing what we call Group 1, Group 2, Group 3 compulsory credits, and those are different groups of courses. I would advise you to check your graduation indicator in My Blueprint to see how you are doing in terms of those 18 compulsory credits, where you need to meet some compulsory credit and make sure that goes into your timetable for next year. Another graduation requirement is your 40 hours of community involvement or community service. Please note that this year's graduates have had that reduced to 20 hours, but the expectation is that next year graduates will have to do the full 40 hours. These hours are not just volunteering. These hours are required to benefit your community in some manner. Many students have submitted hours which do not meet the ministry requirements, and therefore their graduation is put in jeopardy. So please check with your guidance counselor if you have any questions about what is appropriate. The Peel Board of Education also has a website which outlines what the ministry requirements are and provides a job board or an opportunity board for students to get these hours. The other graduation requirement is the literacy test. This year's graduates do not have to write the literacy test, but next year's graduates, in other words you, are expected to be doing the literacy test, and that should be written at the end of March, early April of 2022, and this will be a requirement to graduate for next year.
Let's also review the different types of courses that you'll find in grade 12. Course codes use the 5th character to indicate the type of course. So if the 5th character in the course code you're looking at has a U, it means that this is a course that's used to apply to university. It's got the theoretical and conceptual and the independent learning skills that are required to be successful in university. If the 5th character of the course code is an M, it can be used for both university and college program applications. If the 5th character is a C, it indicates that this is a course that's designed to take you into a college pathway. You cannot use a course coded with a C to apply to university. The other type of course that is coded at the grade 12 level is those coded with an O. So fifth character is an O. An example of this would be a phys ed course. These are called open level courses and are not used by universities or colleges when they're reviewing applications. If you're short in any credits, particularly if you're applying to university where you need 6 grade 12 U or M's, you may use an open level course to get to the 30 credits that you need and keep your workload at a reasonable level. Generally speaking, open level courses do not have the same academic intensity as those courses that are coded with a U or M in particular. If you're considering a university pathway, there's a number of things you need to keep in mind. First of all, you need to get your high school diploma, and in your grade 12 year or in your transcript, you must have 6 grade 12 U or M coded courses. Each university program will have its specific prerequisite courses. So for example, if you were to apply to an engineering program, you would need to have grade 12 University English, advanced functions, calculus and vectors, 2 of the 3 sciences, plus a 6th grade 12 U or M. So it's important to research using My Blueprint or Ontario University's info.ca to find out about these prerequisites to make sure that you've got the choices that will lead you to the programs that you're interested in. One of the things that's also important is to check what kind of average you need, what mark ranges are required to apply to these programs. So you can apply to an engineering program at Waterloo where you need a low to mid 90s average to apply, but you can also apply to engineering at, for example, the University of Windsor, which because it's geographically further away and doesn't have the same reputation, you don't need the same type of average. Although the admission offers are based generally on grade 12 marks, both grade 11 and 12 marks will be used when they do these offers. So before you submit your courses, it's really important to do your research. Some of the things that you can do now before you submit those courses is to do your research using Ontario University's info.ca and using My Blueprint. You can also get lots of information about universities and the programs and the prerequisites by visiting the individual universities' websites, talking to some of the admissions officers from the universities. You can visit the universities and find out more information, arrange for a tour. We have access to university guidebooks, and you can order those through the university's websites as well. In the fall, there will be the Ontario Universities Fair. We're hoping that will run again this coming September. And we hope to have university representatives coming to Lorne Park during the lunch times to talk about their school and their programs. Many universities have now put these presentations on their websites, so you can visit virtually and find out more about programs, prerequisites, what the school is known for, some of the unique aspects of all their programs. So again, before you submit your courses, it's really important to do your research. This is what the Ontario University's info.ca website looks like. If you look across the top, you can see you can find out more about programs, about the universities themselves, about financing your university education, and what you need to know about the applications. Down at the bottom left, you can see Find a Program, and we'll have a look at that in a little bit more detail now. So this page shows what happens if you do a program search or find a program for kinesiology. That's a keyword that I've put in, and it shows the 22 programs that are available at Ontario universities that relate to kinesiology. There's links here to the particular schools in the program. There's also a compare feature, so by clicking on it, you can look at the differences and the similarities between the various programs. By selecting a particular kinesiology program, such as this one from Western University, you can get some further details. So for example, you can click on the requirements and you can see what kind of a grade range is required, what type of degree you will get, how many students are selected each year, or how many are enrolled in the program, further details such as admissions and how to contact someone regarding this program. If you were to click on the requirements tab, you'll see what the prerequisites are, any recommended courses. Now, when they say recommended, the universities are saying that that course would be helpful when you are taking the program, but it is not used to include or exclude someone from the program when they are applying. If you're considering a college pathway, there's a number of things to keep in mind as well. So again, to apply to college, you do need to have your Ontario Secondary School diploma, and you need, generally speaking, 6 grade 11 or grade 12 college coded, mixed coded, or university coded courses. If you are applying to a college degree, you do require 6 grade 12 UR/M courses. Their diploma programs only look at C, M, and U coded courses, and again, they look at both grade 11 and 12 for that. Okay. College programs often also have prerequisite courses, so certain things that you must have in your grade 12 year to be eligible to apply. So for example, if you were interested in studying business at Sheridan College, for example, they require you to have a grade 12 math, the MAP4C, or if you were to have advanced functions or data or calc and vectors, they would also consider those. Admission averages are generally not posted for the colleges, and it really varies depending on the program in terms of the average you need. If you were to apply to a highly competitive program, such as a paramedic program, your average would have to be much higher than if you were to apply to a more common program, such as a child and youth worker, which is offered at pretty much every college. Many college programs also have additional admission requirements. You may have to provide a portfolio, go for an interview, or do an audition, or attend an orientation session. So it's important to also research now. Visit the colleges, get guidebooks, attend presentations. The Ontario colleges have an information fair that's held in October. So if you haven't attended that, it would be a good idea to do so in your grade 12 year. Again, we encourage you to do as much research as you can now so that you can make wise choices for your courses for next year. The website to find out more about colleges is ontariocolleges.ca. And again, My Blueprint is a great resource to find out more about college programs. This is what the ontariocolleges.ca website looks like. At the top, you can see that there's a tab for programs. You can also research about the colleges, particularly geographic location and things like that. There's a tab there for how to apply. It gives you some instructions there. But if you were to research programs, you'll get a page that looks like the following. In this case, you'll see that I've put photography as the keyword in the program search. And here's what the results would look like. You can see that Fanshawe College has a photography program, Georgian has a photography program, Humber, and there may be others. By clicking on the website, the links there, you'll get more detailed information about admissions. So this is what Humber's page looks like when you click on the previous link. You can see that to be eligible for admission, you have to have grade 12 English, 3 grade 11 or 12 C, M, or U courses. There's also information about mature student status, if there's an English language proficiency policy, and you can also click on View Additional Requirements to see what else you require. This slide shows you a summary of where you can get some more information about the different pathways, in particular about apprenticeship. If you are interested in going into the trades, we encourage you to talk to your guidance counselor, talk to Miss Edmonds, our co-op teacher, who can tell you about the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program, whereby you can actually start your apprenticeship while you're still in high school. This page summarizes the college websites that I've mentioned to you, as well as the university websites. Some of you may be considering applying to American schools. Most American schools require students to write the SAT or the ACT exams, so it's important to check the deadlines when these need to be completed. You can also research to find out where you can write these. Most of the schools in the States use a common application program called the Common App or the Universal App, or there's a few others, and these do require some work on your part. You need to collate some information, collect that together, and put that in to this program. It requires you to work with your guidance counselor to provide things like transcripts, letters of recommendations, things of that nature. So it's important to think about these things and make sure you give yourself lots of time to get these requirements completed on time. For those of you enrolled in the extended French program, the grade 12 requirement is that you take the extended French grade 12 4U. This should get you your 7th course for the extended French certificate. And again, you have to be in this program to select this course. Some of you may want to consider taking cooperative education. This is an opportunity to earn either 2 or 4 credits towards your high school diploma by working in a placement where you would get some hands-on instruction from an expert. It allows you to explore a career field and find out whether or not this is something that you want to pursue further. For some students, it's an opportunity to realize it's not what you thought it was, and it's helpful because in getting that realization, you can choose your post-secondary program more effectively. So you do get an authentic work experience, and it can be either if you're on a college, university, or an apprenticeship pathway. As I had mentioned earlier, the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program works through our cooperative education program, and it allows students to start collecting the hours towards an apprenticeship while they're still in high school. If you're interested in co-op, you're welcome to see your guidance counselor or Miss Edmonds to talk more about that. There's 2 course codes. The COP4XC is if you are considering doing a full semester of co-op. The COP2X is where you would be doing classes in the morning and going to your work placement in the afternoon. At Lorne Park Secondary, we have a sports specialist high skills major program. Students would sign up in grade 10 and work towards getting the specialized diploma in grade 11 and 12. Some of you may have already completed some courses in grade 11 that would work towards this, so you can find out more about the high skills major from your guidance counselor. Generally speaking, it's a package of courses that you would take in grade 11 and 12. It gets you a specialized diploma with a particular certificate that outlines all the different things that you've done to complete this. It supports all pathways in that it can be done if you're interested in apprenticeship or college or university. It requires you to complete a bundle of 9 courses, and generally speaking, these are courses that you would be taking anyway, such as business or English, but there are 4 sports-related courses that are required, and it does mean that you have to do a 2 co-op credit package. Okay. By enrolling in this program, you have the opportunity to get 7 sports-related certifications. These are industry certifications such as first aid, CPR, WMIS, sports taping, personal training. And those are valuable when you're in the workplace. It gives you the opportunity to experience learning and explore careers in the world of the sports industries. You get an opportunity to do some job shadowing, potentially some field trips to, for example, the kinesiology lab at a university. Again, if you're interested in finding more about this, talk to your guidance counselor or talk to someone in the phys ed department. I'd like to emphasize that it's really important to choose your courses wisely. By doing appropriate research, you will make good choices. You will not have to request any timetable changes, which we may or may not be able to do. And it gives you confidence going into the programs that you're interested in for post-secondary. So please read through the course descriptions on My Blueprint or Chart Your Course. We're working on providing some further information specifically about courses at Lorne Park, which you can find on our website. It's helpful to talk to teachers who are teaching the course. You may want to speak to other students who have already taken the course. Maybe you have a sibling that's taken a course. You can get information regarding the workload and how you're going to be evaluated. We want you to select courses where you're likely to experience success. So please pay attention to the recommended preparations, aside from just having the prerequisite course. So for example, math teachers have always recommended that you have a level 3 in the prerequisite course to move on to the next course. So it's recommended you have a 70% or higher in MCR 3U to take the advanced functions course in grade 12. Make sure that you know the post-secondary program requirements. Every year, I typically deal with students who come to me and say, I found this program and I'm really interested in it, but I need to take this course and I don't have it on my timetable. And it may not be a course that we can timetable here at Lorne Park. We can look at alternative ways of getting the credit, but it does make it more difficult and challenging. When you're doing your research, it's also important to have a backup plan. Do your research about the different university, college, apprenticeship programs. Look at what the requirements are. Look at what kind of marks you need for that. And think about, well, what if something happens next year and I'm not able to achieve the average required? What would be some other programs that I would be interested in that may not be as challenging to get into? So again, making sure that you have that backup plan. In My Blueprint, the first section on the the left-hand side is the Who Am I section. This is where you can do an evaluation of who you are as a learner, your personality type, your interests, things like that. And this is a good tool that you can review at any time and redo at any time to find out more about yourself and then to find out about courses and post-secondary programs that might be a good fit for you. So please have a look at that as well. Submitting your courses is done through My Blueprint. Again, you can access that through your BYOD page. And the window in which you submit is from January 18 to February 18. We ask that you do your research and that you submit once. Access to the different courses that you've selected is based on a timestamp in which you had submitted your course selection, so please don't wait to the last minute to submit your course requests. Course selection is also part of your individual pathway plan, as I mentioned earlier. When you log into My Blueprint, you'll see that there's a page with tasks. Those tasks are designed to help you explore and find out more about yourself and about the different opportunities you have. And the Ministry of Education expects that every student is completing those tasks, and again, choosing courses is part of that task list.
This is what the home screen of My Blueprint looks like. You can see on the left there's a number of different tabs that you can click on. The Who Am I allows you to do some assessments to help you find appropriate post-secondary programs, career options. The High School section is where you create your high school plan. The post-secondary gives you information on the 3 different pathways: apprenticeship, college, university, and workplace. It gives you details about the different programs. Work relates more to career information if you want to research what different occupations are out there and what's involved in doing those occupations. The money sections allows you to do some financial planning. In the top middle, it says complete your IPP tasks. Every student is expected by the Ministry of Education to work on their individual pathway plan, and with the Peel Board of Education, this is done by completing these tasks in My Blueprint. Down at the bottom, where it says course selection is now open, this is where you can plan your courses and indicate if you are returning to Lorne Park for next year or not.
This is what the page looks like if you click on the IPP tasks. It outlines for you what you need to do. You can click on each block and go in and do the actual activity. In doing so, you can collect points, and those are redeemable for gift cards and things of that nature. From the home page again, you can click on the plan courses down along the bottom, and that will take you to your high school plan, or you can click on your high school plan on the left-hand side to choose your courses and then move along to submit them. This is what your high school plan looks like. The fourth column for many of you may be empty. For many of you, you may have already have courses in there, and this is where you can make some revisions to this. Above the fourth column, you can see the not returning next year question. If you click on that, you can indicate to us here at Lorne Park whether you are returning or not. If not, it will ask you what your destination is. To the right of that is the graduation indicator. That's where you can click on View Progress, and it will show you how you're doing in terms of accomplishing the 30 credits required to graduate, your 40 hours, and the volunteer service. Underneath that is a program eligibility area. Those numbers indicate, based on the plan that's in front of you, how many apprenticeship, college, community living, university, or workplace programs you could apply to. When you fill in your grade 12 column, your university program eligibility area will be well populated. By clicking on the number, you can then go in and see what programs you can apply to based on the courses that you've indicated in the grade 12 column. This year, parent verification is done virtually. Instead of printing off a verification form and getting signatures and then submitting that to Lorne Park, you need to put in a parent email address, and then the course verification will go to that email address. They will sign off, and that will be recorded in My Blueprint. The courses that you select during this submission window really drives what the Lorne Park timetable looks like for next year. So your best chance of getting the courses that you want is by submitting the right courses during this window and as soon as possible, as again, these courses are time-stamped, or your selections are time-stamped. We will look at doing course changes if you realize that there's something that you need, but your best chance of getting the courses you want is during this course submission window. We encourage you again to research and then choose wisely, review the marks that you're getting in the various courses, and use that as well as all the research that you do with the various tools, career planning tools and university and college websites and so on, to make good choices now so you can avoid having to make any changes and potentially not getting those changes.
Thank you for your time and attention. If you have any questions about this presentation or going through the course selection process, please contact your guidance counselor. You can email or give us a call. We also have a drop-in time available on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays during the lunch hour for a 5-minute chat if you have some general questions. Thank you.